Hi, I'm Charlene Mangweni, and today we are going to take you through a musical, beautiful experience with recording artist and worshiper Tafadzwa Mukaro. She's going to tell us a little bit more about who she is, the artist, the mother, the sister, the friend, the wife, the minister, the worshiper. Tafadzwa, hi and welcome. Thank you for joining us on the show.
Thank you so much, Charlene, for having me.
Tell us a little bit more about who Tafadzwa is.
Tafadzwa Mukaro is a gospel artist who's also a mother of two, and also a Christian, and I think that's just about it.
Tell us a little bit more about when you started singing. You know, you hear some people telling us about, I started singing when I was 3 or when did you start singing?
I started singing, I think, when I was about in grade 7. Became mutare in the primary choir. Singing has always been a part of me, and I enjoy it. It comes naturally, I guess.
And what made you decide to move from just singing in a school or church choir and actually going into a studio and saying, yes, I'm gonna record now?
I felt like composing songs was not really easy, but God opened up ways for me to begin composing it around when I was 15 years old. So when I sang those songs to myself, later on I managed to sing to congregations, church congregations, and I got positive feedback that they were really good songs. I felt like this is not just for me, this is not just for this small church that I'm in. This is something that can help someone else, because I found out that with every song that I sing, I have a testimony for it. So I felt like, let me then record so that it's heard on a broader level by everybody, and they'll be inspired the same way I was inspired.
And when did you start recording?
I started recording in 2014.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Tell us a little bit more about your first experience when you walked into the studio and decided that today I'm going to do it. You started singing when you were only 12, but the first time you walked into studio, how did that feel?
I felt, I can't even describe the words, because even in Form 3, I was eager to record Charlene. But I think God has a certain way of doing things in our life. When it's before time, you shouldn't push God, because He has something better for you. So from then until that first time you're talking about, when I was in the studio, after recording the first song and hearing myself on the studio monitors, I cried, because I knew it was a moment. It was a miracle. That moment was a miracle, because I had spent about a decade waiting for that moment. And when it came, everything felt right. Everything was in place.
How many albums do you have up to date?
I have 2 albums, and recently we released a single.
Tell us a little bit more about the single that you released.
The single is called Kupisirira Kuneswa. It talks about how you know God is about to do something in your life. I felt that when God is about to do something, the way the wind blows is different. In the small voices which speak to me and tell me that prepare yourself, something good is about to happen. So that's what the song is about. It says, kana Mwari akupindura munamato wako, unozvinzwa mumoyo, unozvinzwa mumweya, unozvinzwa mupfungwa.
Tell us a little bit more about the songs that are on the album.
The album has 6 songs on it. There's Mufaro wa Jehovah, Inyohere, Minduro, Ishegadzirai, and Mwari Munogona. Yeah.
And tell us about these songs in detail. What do they mean to you? You talked about how you also compose these songs, so I'm sure they're close to your heart. What do these songs mean to you individually?
On my new album, there's a song called Mufaro wa Jehovah. It talks about the joy of the Lord is our strength. It took me, in my Christian journey, it took me a while to understand that verse and to understand that idea about our Christian faith, that the joy of the Lord is our strength. So many times we worry, we tire about life, but the moment you understand that joy which comes from God, it sustains you day after day. You don't have to worry. You don't have to think, when is my next dollar coming from? What am I going to do? What am I going to eat? What am I going to wear? Because, I don't know, God's joy overshadows all of that.
And today we're talking about one of the albums that you've released. The 5 songs that are on it. You speak a lot about God constantly being there with you. Tell us a bit about those songs.
The 5 songs are, I don't know, they speak to me, as I say that every song speaks to me. There's Mofarwa Jehovah we just talked about. Then there's Inyohere. The second song, Inyohere, talks about the grace of God over my life. If I'm to consider how God has transformed my life, sometimes I look at other people and I wonder, what did God see in me to give me this gift of writing songs? There's nothing special about me. There are other people who are better, who speak better, who sing better, but he gives me that melody to sing. So it talks about Inyohere, nezvandiri, kwandakakurira kwaitoshoreka, you know. Vanhu vaitoti pakanzi pari kudiwa munhu, maybe they would think of me last. But God thought of me first. So it's like, Inyohere nezvandiri Mwari, munondoonawo montipa songs. I don't deserve it, but it's grace, you know. That's the beauty of the grace of God. The next song is called Minduro. I sang that song, the melody came when I was standing under a tree. I think I was about to board a combi going to work. And then it came. They come because, I say they come because I don't think they are mine. They sort of get planted into my head. So I don't think they're mine. So it came. There I was standing under a tree waiting for a combi to go to work. And then I realized that minduro yangu Mwari. Kana minduro yauya Charlene. Charlene, kana minduro ya Jehovah yauya. Every cell in your body celebrates. So it talks about that. Kuti ndakanamata Mwari ndakamirira minduro. Unai minduro yangu. Sika minduro yangu baba. Minduro yangu. So it's a song which puts you in a state of celebration. That when I pray truthfully, when you pray and you believe, your answer will come. Then there is Mwari Munogona. Mwari Munogona talks about how God is able to do everything and anything. Mwari Munogona munopindura munamato. So it talks about my wish is for people to get to experience the goodness of God that I have experienced. So it talks of, please call everybody so that they come and I will tell them about the goodness of God.
And what about Ishe Gadzirai?
Ishe Gadzirai is, I use it most of the times during my prayer time. It talks about God create a wall of protection all around me. Do you know we take it for granted when we go out in the morning, you go to work, like my family is really, my kids are really small. I go to work, the father goes to work. Then you take it for granted. Taskwera tadzoka. Kwatatiri koko Mwari wangu akatotikomberedza zvokuti ukazotaridzwa video zvinhu zvinogononga zvaitika unoshamisika kuti saka ingadai mwana uyu ndisina kuzotomuona. So that's what it talks about. Ishe Gadzirai, Lord create a wall of protection all around me and he perfects every single thing that concerns you. You will find on the video it's something which happens where vanhu vari pabasa vari kushanda mushandiro ungori normal. You know how work is. Kubasa tinoenda kunoshanda. Then mumwe munhu ototora kuti bosa vari kutodini vari kutondiataka. Oda kuuraya boss nemushonga. But because iwe unenge uchinamata every day, God will somehow raise a situation to protect you. So that's what the video says, kuti uchiswera, don't forget to pray. Mwari gadzirai rambe mchingoti tiwakira rushingo rwakatitenderedza runotipa protection.
If there's one thing that you would like your listeners to walk away with from this album, just one message, what would that be?
That message, Charlene, is Mwari ngewe munhu wese. I mean, God is for everyone. He's for you, he's for me. He's for the man in the street who is homeless. He's for everyone. And pa situation yaanenge akakwisa iyoyo, don't think wakusiya. That's where people get it wrong. Kuti Mwari unosiya vanhu. Mwari haambofi akasiya vanhu. We need to constantly, we need to seek him. Because anenge atori paside apo. Vanhu vanofunga kuti ari kure, vanomutsvaga uko, vanomutsvaga apo, vanomutsvaga kuti ko Mwari muripiko. Iye unenge akatokutarisa ari padhuze. So that's the message I want people to get. Kuti God is there, he's near us, and his goodness is upon us. Varipo Mwari, havasi kure nesu. And ukaona uye achiitirwa miracle, handi kuti uri special. Grace dziri kune munhu wese. So that's the message that I really want people to understand. Kuti Mwari wakandonaka, nhasi, mangwana, nemangwana achauya. Wakangonaka Mwari.
They say that we are a product of our past, and things that we grew up with are what nurtured us to get to who we are today. So is there anything from your past that has molded and brought Tafadzwa into being the recording artist that we're sitting here with today?
I think the most important thing that you have to be as a gospel artist is to be a worshiper. You have to constantly talk to God, because I feel like if you are not in sync with God, then the journey as a gospel artist is tough. I grew up at a very quiet, serene place in Mutare. It was a mission school. And I think it was very small. Everyone knew everybody. It's a very beautiful place. Mountains surrounding the place. It's like in the center of mountains. It's beautiful. The ideal place to think. So at a tender age, I learned to meditate. Thank God I learned to meditate in God, because it taught me to constantly think of what God wants me to do. What is God saying? What does God think about this? And you need to be like that as a gospel artist, because you're in a ministry. And in a ministry, you have a responsibility to convert lives. How can you convert a life how can you talk about a Jesus whom you don't know? It will be very hard for me to convince you that Jesus is good. But if you're constantly meditating like that, then it's easier. So I grew up like that, a quiet place. And now I understand that everything you go through in life does not go to waste. Because now I'm using those experiences I had. And now I'm in Harare. It's a big city. There's so much happening. But you have to take time to meditate. Otherwise, you'll go with the wind. So you need those moments of meditating and taking time to reflect upon God, not upon worldly things, no, upon God. So that assisted me a lot.
Tafadzwa, you have a beautiful voice. Why did you decide to sing gospel music and not any other genre?
I'm a vessel. And I'm not my own vessel. I'm God's vessel. And God gives me the ability to write those songs. I can't imagine myself. I can't. It feels impossible for me to then write something. Then who will I ask? I need to ask God. God, give me the wisdom. God, give me the words. God, give me the melody, because I'm your vessel. So going before God and say, God, give me the music and then that music does not glorify him, I feel like he won't give me. As of now, he's been giving me those songs because I'm able to then use them in the ministry of music. So it comes naturally. I can't imagine. I can't, Charlene, I can't. That's just how I feel God created me to do. It's a calling.
So it's more of a calling rather than just standing in front of a microphone.
Yes, it's a calling.
Tafadzwa, I'm going to ask you a question that most Christians find very difficult to answer. There are so many people out there in the world that are suffering, sick, hungry, dying, poor. What is it in your message that helps that person to be able to carry on with life? What do you hold on to that allows people to listen to your music and say, I can make it?
Wow, that's deep, Charlene. Because even as Christians, sometimes you battle with those thoughts. I cannot be confident and say, I never have a tough day. I never have, I do have those type of moments. But there's something which I find is easy to bring me back to a point of faith, to a point of believing. If I look at my life right now, maybe the next person, if they are to look at my life, they will think, there's nothing extraordinary about her life. But the fact that I'm able to sing, I'm able-bodied, I can have a meal a day, I'm able to send my kids to school, I have those kids.
Yes.
The gift of life. I believe the moment you wake up every morning and you're like, it's another new day. That itself is a miracle. So you don't have a reason to say, I'm suffering, I'm in pain. Yes, you're in pain, but you're still breathing. And in that one breath, you can say, God, save me. And he will save you. I believe everything is about God. Even when you are lacking. But look closer. You are lacking, you don't have shoes, but you have those feet. You are lacking, you don't have a job, but you're able to sell mafrizit. You are lacking. There's always a but with God. I don't have shoes, but I have legs. I don't have upfumumba, but ndinero frechingwa. I don't have a job, but ndikwanisa kuhodha mafrizit ndichitengesa ndichiraramisa mhuri yangu. So it's a God of buts. And ukanzwisisa but iyoyo ndinoti mangwanani ndamuka nyangwe zvazvakapresa zuro ndoti but Mwari but vanongo vamuka vari vatano ava basa riri koko rega ndimhanye ndiende kupi kubasa zvichiri right.
There are so many gospel artists that are out there, not just in Zimbabwe, but regionally and in the world. How do we set apart Tafadzwa from Ningi?
I think trying to be yourself is the most important thing. And you need to define, who am I? Because this gospel artist's situation can quickly get you carried away. So if before you understand who you are as a person, I'm Tafadzwa Mukaro. I'm wife to Wisdom Mukaro. I have 2 kids. I'm a Christian. I'm a mother. I'm a sister. I'm a person. I'm not a gospel artist. It's just a term. But I'm ndingoriwo mukadzi mudzimai ari mucommunity ari kushumira shoko nekuimba. The moment ukazoisa gospel artist and then you coat it with cream, you coat it with ice cream, you coat it with sugar, you lose focus. Saka kungonzwisisa kuti Charlene tasangana kudai tiri vanhu tu kuwa gospel artist hazviri chinhu kushumira shoko raMwari. Saka vanhu vakanzwisisa izvozvo kuti we are there to minister, not to then glorify ourselves. I think it will help. humble yourself enough for God to continue to lift you up. Because as a gospel artist, ukazoda kuti ndiri gospel artist, you know, it will conflict with the calling and the ministry that God calls you. So I believe, as I am a gospel artist, I'm still mudzimai wemucommunity, there to serve and to minister.
From the time that you stepped into the studio, you said in 2014, you obviously stopped making your music at prayer closet level, and now you're taking it out to the world. Now, there must be somebody that inspires you. Who would you say inspires you musically, whether it's locally or internationally?
I look up to my Charamba. She inspires me a lot. Because she's what I'm saying, mudzimai ari mucommunity. And havana kutanga nas. She started way back. And she's still pushing. The same impact she had in ministry when she started is the same impact that she has today. So she really inspires me that it's possible to be yourself and be a gospel artist and be a mother and be a wife and be a murora, be a tete, you know. So it brings it into reality and perspective that this is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do it this way.
And what about regionally or internationally? Is there anybody that you look up to and say, I want to be that person?
I'm inspired by Sinach. She's someone who's, her music speaks to the heart, not only the heart, but the soul. So she has that connection with God. And when you connect with God, He reveals Shakawanzika to you. So that she also inspires me.
What is it that you are most afraid of?
I'm most afraid of, now I have 2 kids. My perspective of life has completely changed because they are my role models. And every day I strive to be a better person so that they see. And when they see, charity begins at home. When they go out there in the world, they'll always have an idea of how to handle everything. Not because they know, but because they've seen how I have handled it. My mother gave me that type of base where she's an amazing woman, where I learned how to be strong. Not in yourself, but in the Lord. She's a very prayerful woman. So my prayer and my hope is that I will not disappoint my children. I will be a good example, because once I disappoint them, I would have already created little human beings who have fault, and that's wrong. So that's my greatest fear.
Tafadzwa, we've seen your amazing videos. We've heard your beautiful music. Now, say people want to get in touch with you. They want to know, how can I get ministered to by this amazing woman? How do they get in touch with you?
They can get in touch with me on our contact number, which is 0772 934 885. 0772 934 885. And they can also get in touch with me and learn more about me and interact with me on Facebook, on the web, on the page Tafadzwa Mukaro Music. We also have a website for Tafadzwa Mukaro, which is www.tafadzwamukaro.co.zw. And I'm also on Twitter and Instagram under Tafadzwa Mukaro Music.
What can you tell the person at home who is desperate for a solution in whatever situation that they're in their life? Is there a message that you can give to somebody watching this DVD and who is listening to your music? What would you like them to take home?
I want to say to you who's watching, don't forget, The God we are talking about is not the God of the days of Abraham and Moses, the days of John the Baptist. No. Those days are alive in the Word. But God is also alive in you. Don't look for him far away. He's in you. And he has a purpose for you. The same way he has a purpose for me, he has a purpose for you. But no one else will tell you what that purpose is. You need to believe him and to trust him and to seek him. When you seek God, he will not be far from you. All he needs is a heart, a humble and contrite heart on your part. So don't stop believing the goodness of God. Mwari vanogona, vanogonesesa, vanongoda kuti utende mavari, uchivanamata, mweya nemusvokwadi. We have a live band which is available for performances on weddings, conferences, even church services. So if you need to get in touch with us, you can get in touch with us on 0772 934 885 or on our Facebook page, Tafadzwa Mukaro Music.
Tafadzwa, thank you so much for joining us today and enlightening us on your worship experience.
Thank you so much, Charlene, for having me.
We've been speaking to Tafadzwa Mukaro, and she has taken us through the amazing and beautiful journey that her worship experience is. She's taken us into her prayer closet with this particular album. So do enjoy each and every single one of the songs and the videos that are on this DVD, and I'm pretty sure you will definitely be blessed. Remember that you can always get in touch with her on the numbers that are on your screen or on any of the social platforms. Hey, hire her for your wedding. You never know, you always need to have that blessed start at the beginning of your holy matrimony. My name is Charlene Mangweni. Enjoy and be blessed.